Hi guys, this is Hannah and Leo and Luna. So I'm going to start talking about the readings first, and the first one I'm going to talk about is Rebel Girls, which I thought was pretty interesting. I knew about the first three waves of feminism pretty well, and how she described them is what I knew them as also. Um, but the fourth wave I have not heard of before, or and even reading it on the page was a little confusing about what it is and if it's really like a thing altogether or not. And then I also found it interesting how she broke down different parts of feminism, um, the different cultural and differences and stuff like that, and like just individual feminism and stuff. I thought was pretty interesting and what you can do with that. I liked the Bell Hooks reading and how she talked about how when she tells people that she's a feminist and works with the movement, they think that like feminists are kind of this like, or that the word feminism is like this gross word that shouldn't be talked about, and that everyone who's a feminist is hating of men and they're gross and they don't shave and they don't do this and they don't do that and they just want to be a man, where really it's just about the equal rights of humans, and not just fighting for the equal rights of women, but fighting for the equal rights of transgender or LGBT or anything like that. Is fighting for the equal rights of it. Um, and then we need to have this movement of like togetherness, that it's all about like coming together and not fighting against or fighting within different sects of it. And then the last thing is the TED Talk. I really enjoyed the TED Talk, and that even today, people don't really think about feminism, or they don't think that we really still need it. Um, but at the same time, I think it's coming more back into play. But with her TED Talk video, um, just like the small things about how her friends didn't really think that feminism, like we have all these equal rights, so like what's still happening? And she talked about going to a restaurant in Nigeria and that the waiter only greets the man, or that when they parked the car, she tipped the man, and he said thank you to her friend instead of saying thank you to her, who's the one who tipped him, which I think is very interesting because it's just those small little things that men don't think about, or that even women don't think about at some points, that can control how we look at women and perceive them. Um, the Google Hangout, I'm interested in learning how it works better. Um, that like coming all together and working in a larger group. I think it's going to be really helpful with the readings, that if like I don't connect well with one of them, or I'm having a hard time understanding, it's good to have these group that comes together and we'll be able to talk about it, and I'll be able to relate more in a better understanding. So for the project, I've decided to stop shaving my underarms, which I think is going to be very difficult for me. I shave all the time, like every other day. So not being able to, or not doing it, is going to be very hard. And I don't think that women have to shave, but it's just my preference. And I also think that men should shave too, because their underarms are kind of disgusting with all the hair. So I think they should shave too. Some of the interesting things I found about it was that only within the past 100 years have women started shaving their underarms, and it was because like of a magazine, I believe, that came out and was like, this optional hair can be removed. And then they started shaving their legs about 70 years ago, which is younger than my grandma, which I thought was interesting, that within the past 70 years we've started shaving our legs, which is another part of our body, and then we shave almost all of our body besides our neck up, basically. And it's just kind of one of those female things that we're expected to do. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I think it's going to be, again, very difficult for me to do. So for the annotated bib, I'm still a little confused about it and need to get need to learn more about it. So yeah. And then for the last part, which we were asked a interesting story from your personal life. Well, so I'm doing my internship and I'm not getting paid for it. And so today was payday at work, and so they gave me a payday bar, and they thought it was funny, but I kind of didn't because I'd rather be getting paid instead of getting a candy bar. So that's my life right now. And that's all from me. And Leo is the only one left. Luna has run off, but see you next week. Bye.